Victoria could contemplate her vast dominions with confidence. Even in Ireland, so long, so troubled, the Pax Britannica seemed secure. It would be shattered by events many thousands of miles away, and they would resonate loudly in Ireland. At the southern tip of Africa, the Boer republics of the Free State and Transvaal had risen in revolt against the encroaching British Empire. Irishmen working on the mines joined the Boers in this white man's war. Militant nationalists watching from Ireland would soon rally to the Boer cause. The man who would found Sinn Féin, Arthur Griffith, came here, as did the great land campaigner Michael Davitt, who witnessed the British and the Boer fighting hand to hand. And a shopkeeper's son from County Mayo, John MacBride, led a brigade on the Boer side. As MacBride himself put it, fighting the British here in South Africa was the next best thing to fighting them in Ireland itself. Among those who flocked to the Boer cause was an Irish-American brigade drawn from the ranks of the old Fenians. They joined the hundreds who are now fighting for the Boer president, Oom Paul Kruger.
Reg, tell me about the Irish. How did the Boers view the Irish? How did they see them?
Yeah, they didn't take to discipline very easily. The Boers actually thought them a bit rough, and they were a bit scared of them. Of course, anybody who had a dislike of the British and a mistrust of the British were very welcome to the Boer cause. My father, who met during the war, met quite a few of them, said he rather got the idea that the impression that they were fighting against the British and not so much for a Boer cause.
Back in Dublin, the tenement children sang, "Sound the bugle, sound the drum, and give 3 cheers for Kruger." Give me a sense of the passions unleashed in Ireland by this conflict.
In Dublin, which was the core of the pro-Boer movement, the Irish pro-Boer movement, there were the worst riots that had been seen in the streets of Dublin. The heroes of the Transvaal became, for a season, the heroes of Irish nationalism.
But there was another Irish reality in South Africa. Far more Irishmen, some 40,000, fought on the British side. The conflict between different Irish allegiances would be exposed brutally in December 1899 at the Battle of Colenso, one of the worst defeats suffered by the British. John MacBride was present on the Boer side as they opened fire on the British positions. British troops were pinned down here in the long grass. Every time a soldier tried to raise his head, he ran the risk of being shot by a sniper from the hills above. By the end of the battle, 500 men were dead, 500 more were wounded. And by that stage, MacBride would have known that many of those lying here were fellow Irishmen.
These men were loyal to their regiments. You only have to count the number of VCs that were won in these fields around us. You must remember that there are more Irish people, more Irish men buried in this valley than anywhere else on the African continent.
The Boers lost the war, but they had, in the words of Rudyard Kipling, taught the Empire no end of a lesson. The Boer War had proved that there was a dedicated minority of Irish committed to breaking the link with empire. And although in South Africa they were vastly outnumbered by those loyal to the Crown, it was the enemies of Britain who would dictate events in the new century and propel Ireland into an age of violent revolution.